Welcome to 304 Customs Garage. We got our S10's budget street and strip suspension installed. We're going to show you how in this video and the parts that we use. Stay tuned. Alright, we're back. So, for our street and strip budget build, we're going to be using these components you see here in front of us. We are going to be using, first of all, the Competition Engineering 3-way adjustable drag shocks. These do run around $50 to $56, $7, something like that on Summit Racing right now at the time of this video. These are 3-way adjustable. As you see, the front shocks there. Of course, for a 90-10 split, you probably are going to be more of a track. I would say the 60-40 would probably be better for a street car. Not really sure. I might try the 90-10. Not sure how street friendly it's going to be, but I might go ahead and set it on those and see what happens. It's not going to be an everyday truck. Probably won't even get driven more than 20 to 30 miles at a time, mostly highway. So we'll see. If not, I could always pop them back off and change it to the 60-40. For the rears, whenever we get around to that, I'll probably go ahead and do the 50-50 and leave it there. But, as you see, when you get these, it shows you how to adjust them on the box. You're supposed to compress it so many times, and then it's actually marked, and you hear it click on this. See, it's marked up here. See, XF, and you can't see the middle one, R. It's also coated on the side. It does come with everything you see here. This. So you will need to use the bottom bolts off your original shocks though. Next, we're going to go with these Speedway control arms. These are tubular style. They run these on the dirt cars. And I also got new ball joints. I did get the steel cross shafts though, I will mention. I wanted a little bit of rigidness, and I guess you could say. The aluminum ones, I'm afraid they would break, run around on the roads. Weight difference, I don't see a big difference in these. I'm sure they are a little bit lighter. I'm not going to throw them on the scale or anything than the factory one over there. But when you get that, it comes with just that. They are greasable, of course, on both ends. It is metal on metal, so I'd recommend keeping them greased. And then I also got this ball joint from Speedway as well. Thinking about it, with the power levels that this truck will make, I don't think I'll need to worry about it. But if you're going to be really building a full-blown drag truck, I'd probably recommend getting the 1-inch longer ones, just because of the suspension travel. But when you get those, what I got, this is just a replacement one. You get the new cup. Of course, it has bolts instead of the factory rivets, thankfully. Those are such a pain. Comes with the new castle nut and a cotter pin, as well as a greasable nipple thing there for the top of this. So, if you guys have any questions or suggestions about this, please let me know in the comments. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and get this stuff ready, and we'll go ahead and start putting stuff together. Alright, we got the control arm on. Don't forget your shims. Sure, it'll probably have to be aligned again after I get it on the road. But I got the shims back in the original spots for now. We'll go ahead and install our nuts. I put a little bit of anti-seize on these bolts because they were rusted beyond when I took them off. So, we'll go ahead and get this tightened up. I believe this is 65 foot-pounds. This is Alright. Got that on. We'll go get a torque wrench, torque them down to 65 foot-pounds, I believe it is. Then we'll move on to the ball joints. Alright, next we'll go ahead and put our ball joint in. got this in. We'll go ahead and grease this up, and we'll go ahead and do the control arms as well. Tighten these up a little more, and then we'll get a jack, and we'll put this on, put the castle nut and the cotter pin on. I believe this goes to 61 foot-pounds. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, we got the control arm on, we got the ball joint in and reconnected to the spindle. Castle nut and the cotter pin are in as well. Now, next we'll be putting in the shock. These are the shocks that I'm running. These are the 2600 model if anyone is interested. These will work on S10s and possibly G-body as well. So it's not for street use. We're going to use them on the street. It's not going to be driven a whole lot. Shouldn't be any issue. Haven't decided which I'm going to set them at. I believe I may try the 90-10 just because this isn't going to be a full-blown street truck. And I'd like to take it to the track eventually. Changing these out isn't very difficult at all, so if I have to, I can always pull it back out and swap it back over. So we'll get set up here, and then we'll get this in, and we'll take a look at everything. Alright, we got the shock in. I have a bolt started in the bottom. We'll go ahead and adjust that on there. We run it through the top already, and then we'll put the other bolt in the other side. And we'll get back to you and take a look at it on top. Alright, got that in. On the last part of this video, you see I had to make an adjustment underneath on the shock to make sure both the ears were equal when you screwed into the lower control arm with the bolts underneath. One side was way off, so I actually turned the shock a little bit and lined it up and screwed them in evenly on both sides just to make sure it was straight. Don't want that to be breaking driving down the road or breaking one of those little ears off and then have to replace the whole shock. So we already got this on. We put the rubber piece on already. And then we'll go ahead and put the top part on and the nut. We'll get something to tighten this up with, and then we'll be back. So to recap everything we did in this video: Speedway tubular up control arms, new ball joints with screw and nuts instead of the rivets as the stock ones are from the factory, greasable ball joint. We also installed this Speedway 3-way adjustable drag shocks, not for street use, quotations. We're going to use them on the streets. Set them up, all new parts there. This will need front end alignment, I'm sure. The shims that I didn't put back in there didn't quite fit right, so I will take this to a shop once I get it on the road. But in the meantime, please go ahead and check out one of these other videos. I'll show you how we got to this level of frame gloss in the previous video. Check out one of these other videos on the side. Please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everyone that's been watching these videos and hope to continue making them for you guys. And also hit that like button, dislike button if you don't like it, or leave me a comment. Until next time, YouTube.